Escape to the Country star Nicki Chapman has revealed how being diagnosed with a brain tumor prompted her to reveal a lesser-known part of her life. Many of us know her from TV and radio, especially shows such as Escape to the Country and Wanted Down Under. But did you know that she was also the queen of UK pop? Nicki was a key player in launching the careers of Take That, Spice Girls, and S Club 7, while also a PR for musicians such as Annie Lennox, David Bowie, Kylie, and Phil Collins. Landing her first job in the music industry in the late 80s, she smashed through the industry's glass ceiling, then turned her hand to TV presenting with the talent show Pop Idol in 2001. Yet it took a brain tumor diagnosis in 2019 to inspire her to tell her star-studded story in her new book, So Tell Me What You Want, My Story of Making It in the Mad, Bad, and Fab Pop Music Industry. It made me reflect on my life and my experiences and those pinch-me moments, says Nicki, 56. I was thinking, God, I've had a good life. But I thought, actually, no one else can talk about my experiences of being there at the beginning of certain people's careers. And that's when I thought, I'll put pen to paper. The process took longer than planned in the wake of her treatment. It's just one of the downsides of the operation. When you have an operation like mine, they give you the worst-case scenario. I made a will in case we hit that. But I'm lucky. My concentration isn't as good, reading and writing take me a lot longer and I have slight memory loss. But these are very small things in the bigger picture. Nicki's memoir documents her days of working in the music industry, starting from the secretarial job she took at a record label in the late 80s. It was an incredible time, she says. Music was exciting, there was still money in the industry, bands were given more freedom and women were finding their feet. It was a much-loved time for me. She progressed rapidly through the ranks, first as a publicist, then as a TV blogger, securing high-profile TV slots for her artists, and she documents the highs and lows of her enviable roles to entertaining effect. It was Nicki who urged her bosses at major label RCA to sign Take That after she saw their bare bottoms in teen magazine Fast Forward. Before long, she was flying all over the world on tour with the band who ended up feeling like a family. But it certainly wasn't all glamour. Robbie Williams, unsurprisingly, was a handful. One day, he went missing backstage at Top of the Pops. Nicki eventually found him in a cupboard with an unnamed EastEnders star. Then there was the night of the MTV Europe Awards when Nicki reluctantly left Robbie partying hard with Michael Hutchence, supermodel Helena Christensen and Naomi Campbell. The next morning he failed to show up to rehearsals. Nicki had to enlist Prince's personal doctor to give Robbie an injection to wake him up. Though she was on set for Take That's Back for Good video, she spent the entire day tumble-drying their water-pelted shirts for the next take. And when Take That guest presented the big breakfast, she was spat on by jealous fans as she made her way on set. She even accidentally hit a girl when Take That fans surrounded her car after the band's appearance on Chat Show Ogan. Nicki was still in the midst of the madness of the Take That bubble when she had a meeting with Annie Lennox's manager Simon Fuller. He asked her what she felt the music industry needed and she replied, "Go and find me a girl group. Feisty, talented, sassy girls. There's nothing like it in the charts at the moment." 6 weeks later, Fuller presented her with the Spice Girls. "The first time I met them, I admit I was quite dismissive. And then they blew me away," she recalls. Nicki was there on the freezing cold set of the Spice Girls' first video Wannabe where she fretted that Mel B and Mel C's nipples, visible under their tight tops, would cause problems with international censors. Later, On safari with the Spice Girls in South Africa, they had to make a sharp exit in their open-top truck when they were chased by an elephant. Though Nicki never kept a diary, much to her regret, she recalls her experiences with relative clarity because she usually avoided drinking when working. "I didn't hang out with the artists and get drunk with them and go and do God knows what. But they liked that. They knew I was always there, fresh as a daisy, fighting their corner, getting them as much publicity as possible. Perhaps I missed out on a few good rock and roll stories. But hey, you can't change the way you're made." Nicki also worked incredibly hard. One year, she calculated that she worked 40 weekends on top of her 5-day week. "Part of me loved it, but part of it did make me realize it was unhealthy." To this day, she remains good friends with Gary Barlow. "I loved Gary," she says. "From day one, we had a connection. He spent a lot of time in London on his own, so we used to go out. He's a dear friend and came to my wedding." Nicki married fellow record company executive Dave Shackleton in 1999, and sent me the most lovely note about the book. Another favorite is Geri Halliwell. "She's an incredible character, Geri. They all were. When the Spice Girls came together, it made something special. And they were ahead of the curve, talking about girl power and inclusivity and being proud of who you are in the 90s. However, the job that had the biggest impact on Nicki's life was TV talent show Pop Idol, which Nasty Nigel Lithgow asked her to judge. The book opens with Nicki backstage, waiting to hear if Gareth Gates or Will Young had won the public vote. "Pop Idol changed my life beyond measure," she says. "So I have to give full credit to that show for the girl who didn't want to be a presenter and even turned it down once." Now that she has reflected on the past, what does the future hold? "I want to do a lot more radio. I absolutely love the filming. So I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, stay happy and stay healthy. I have loved my life. I've been there when incredible people have achieved incredible things." This memoir is a celebration of amazing times. So tell me what you want. My story of making it in the mad, bad, and fab pop music industry by Nicki Chapman, 22 pounds, Sphere, is out now.